Micah Parsons makes one of the dumbest comments I have ever seen in recent Eagle-Cowboy rivalry history. Brandon Graham, he looks like he could be the NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and the Cowboys sign a wide receiver. It's not the one they wanted. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Wednesday. I am so excited for the show today. I'm so excited because there's very few things that rile me up as someone who likes to talk about the Eagles and the National Football League. You know, players trash talk, other teams hate each other. It's natural. But what Micah Parsons said on the Von Miller podcast that was released yesterday, he said it a couple of days ago, might be one of the dumbest things I have ever heard. I'm just glad it's coming from a Cowboy and not an Eagle, because Philadelphia and Dallas, they have a massive matchup coming up in less than 2 weeks, Christmas Eve, and I like one team chirping and the other team sitting back and just going, let's just wait and see what happens. And the fact that Philadelphia is on the right side of this, to me, is fantastic. So let's just first get into exactly what he said. We're going to play the clip here. You see it on my Twitter, again, via the Von Miller podcast. Von Miller essentially asking Micah Parsons, right? Cowboy star pass rusher, voted in terms of ESPN number one NFL player under the age of 25. Number one. He's good. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying. And he was asked, is it Jalen Hurts or is it the offensive scheme that is causing Philadelphia to be so darn successful and Jalen Hurts to be so darn successful? And what do you know? Micah doesn't want to give Jalen Hurts the credit. Take a listen.
Is it Hurts or the team? I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think it's system and team. I think it's a little bit of both, man, because they got a great offensive line, which helps Hurts. Hurts has A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. They got a good running game. I mean, Miles Sanders. They scheme that they have. O-line. I mean, bro, and this Eagles Cowboys, the Eagles Cowboy coming up, ain't it? Yeah, it's coming up. I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that I can't. When things are off, I just can't hold it in. I almost gotta say something. Yeah, you're right. They got a great team, great defense. Everyone has their own opinions. But they got Jalen Hurts is he's good. They got him for the MVP race with Patrick Mahomes. His stats and what he's been doing with the numbers that he be putting up is MVP worthy, just like what Patrick Mahomes doing.
Do you hear that last part too? So what's so funny about this is Von Miller's he's not trying to bait him into a question. He's really throwing a softball right now. Von Miller essentially saying, hey man, Hurts, he's in the MVP race. Philadelphia Eagles are really, really good. You guys are playing them coming up. He's asking Micah to basically say, yeah, man, Jalen's playing really well. It's a really good football team. They got the better of us in week 6. We're trying to come back and beat them. It's going to be a really hard-fought game. It's for the NFC East. That's what you should have said. And instead, when asked, is it Hurts or the team, Micah Parsons basically says nothing and laughs, and then he says it's the team and the scheme, which is one of the dumbest things I have ever heard in my entire life. First off, let's just get the obvious out of the way. Yes, the Eagles are a good football team, Micah. Duh, the Eagles are a good football team, Micah. Wouldn't it be nice if your GM, Jerry Jones, who's 1,000 years old and hasn't been to a Super Bowl or even come close since before I was born, I'm 26 years old, it'd be nice if your GM would build a good football team around your quarterback in Dak Prescott, right? That would be nice. That's what Philadelphia's done. What they've done for a lot of the quarterbacks that's been in Philadelphia, dating back to all the playoff wins the Eagles have had versus, 1, 2 since I was born? I think it's two playoff wins since I was born for the Dallas Cowboys. I was 26 years old. Wouldn't it be nice? Howie Roseman, way better GM. Let's just get that out of the way. But the idea that he's applying here is that Jalen Hurts is not good. That Jalen Hurts is only being successful because of the scheme that he's in. He's only successful because, 1, he has a good offensive line, and 2, he has a good running game, and 3, he has good receivers, and 4, Shane Steichen's dialing up great plays. That's the reason why the Eagles are 12-1 right now. That's the reason why Jalen Hurts is an NFL MVP. Not because of anything Jalen Hurts has done, not because Jalen Hurts has taken his completion percentage from bottom of the league, one of the worst in the National Football League, to one of the best, not because he has the best quarterback rating in the National Football League, the best TD to interception ratio in the National Football League, the number 1 rating in terms of deep balls in the National Football League. That's not Jalen Hurts. That's all scheme. That's all team. Oh my goodness. This is the kind of stuff That really drives me nuts because what people don't like doing in the NFL, when they first criticize somebody, you're a rookie, you come out of the league, and it's like, oh, he's struggling here, oh, bad throw there. You want to keep him in that hole. Do everybody. Every quarterback that comes in the league that struggles, you start off by saying, oh, he's not that good. And then if he gets good, you go, it's kind of the scheme that's around him. And only true quarterbacks actually are good because they will be successful not just year 2, but year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on and on and on. Look at Manning. Look at Brady, look at Brees, look at all the great ones, right? Dak Prescott came into the league, wasn't that good, then had a really big breakout year where they won like 14 games and then only won one playoff game. But that was like, oh, Dak's really good. They gave him $40+ million a year, and since then, Dak has been very, very mediocre. Now, Jalen Hurts just has one breakout season. If he stinks next year, we'll all come back and say, oh, we were wrong. But what Jalen Hurts has done this year cannot be taken away from him. Don't try and just say it's the offensive line. Don't just try and say it's A.J. Brown. This has been the rise of Jalen Hurts. This is the year of Jalen Hurts, and to disrespect him like that, to me, is absolutely unbelievable. Also funny, by the way, think back to week 6, many moons ago. I know a long time for Mr. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was nowhere to be seen in that entire football game until Lane Johnson got hurt. Nowhere to be seen. He had done nothing. I mean, remember, Eagles were blowing them out early, and then a couple of injuries, Micah gets a couple of sacks, and yet Philadelphia still went down and scored to essentially win the football game. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, I like this tweet right here. You know he knows. Enough people tagged him in this. Just sitting back, not saying anything. The little Michael Jackson gif, eating some popcorn there. He knows he's ready because Lane Johnson's the best right tackle in the National Football League, and the last time these two teams played, Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata absolutely worked. I think Dillard worked in there as well. They worked Micah Parsons until the backups came in, and then Micah started to play well. Also, where was Micah Parsons this past week whenever the Cowboys themselves failed to register one sack against the worst football team in the National Football League and almost lost? I don't know. He was somewhere. Speaking of quarterbacks, let's just throw up Dak Prescott's numbers here because we always like comparing Dak to any Eagle quarterback. I know he's missed some games. Don't want to knock him for that. Injuries happen, 6-2, that's fine. But these numbers, imagine throwing 9 interceptions in a year. 9 interceptions in 8 games. He has more interceptions than games played. How many does Jalen Hurts have? Just 3. Hurts, oh man, it always gets me going. Now, what you should do is first like the video because obviously, come on, we all feel the same way. I'm speaking for the masses here. Like and be sure to subscribe. We're approaching 7,000 subs. What you should do though is be like Dan Orlovsky. I love Dan Orlovsky. Now Orlovsky, I think his wife's an Eagle fan. He always mentions that there's some Eagle love there in terms of Dan Orlovsky and the Philadelphia Eagles. But he admits when he's wrong. One of the few national media correspondents who admit when they are wrong. Here's what he said yesterday about Jalen Hurts. Quote, Jalen Hurts is the most improved passer I've ever seen in my life. This guy's ability to make really tight coverage placement throws is so impressive. I've never seen a guy transform this way. I was the person who said you are freaking crazy for moving on from Carson Wentz for Jalen Hurts, and I was the person who said if he plays as good as he can, it's not as good as as Carson Wentz can. That's what you should be when thinking about Jalen Hurts. Admit you're wrong. You know what? I was there. I'm sure tweet saying that I thought drafting Jalen Hurts in round 2 was the dumbest mistake ever because I was a Carson Wentz believer. But after what I saw from those 4 games of Jalen Hurts in year 1, 2 years ago, there's a video. I'm trying to get my friend to send it to me. I go out and say he will turn out to be a really good quarterback, and guess what? I was right, and a lot of other people were right as well. Fun stuff, though. If this doesn't get you exciting for Christmas Eve, I do not know what is. My family always does Christmas Eve dinner with other friends at one specific restaurant every single year back home. We normally do it at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. However, because of Eagles Cowboys, because my mom loves the Eagles and I love the Eagles, we've pushed Christmas dinner back to 7 p.m. because we're so excited for this game. And honestly, now it just gets higher and higher, the hype. And if Philadelphia wins, it's going to be one of the most fun Christmases I can ever imagine. Even dating back to the year I got a bike or an electric scooter or my very first BB gun, this would be the icing on the cake and the ultimate Christmas gift. Thumbs up if you guys agree. There's my rant. Goodness, that got me fired up last night. I wanted to do a show late last night, but I want to go to sleep first, so getting out to you guys here in the morning. Now, speaking of the Eagles, they got to beat the Bears this week. They can't overlook Chicago because Chicago, comes right before the Dallas Cowboy game. Bet on it with our friends at DraftKings. Bet $5 on the Eagles. Get $150 back if they win with the promo you see on your screen. It's down below in the description box. Some people are asking me, Thomas, where's the link for this? It's in the description. Just look at the description. I put it right there. It's just right there. It takes you to this link. Then you sign up by clicking here, and then you just register, deposit $5+ moneyline bet on the next Eagles game. Get $150 back if the Eagles win, $150 in addition to your winnings. Jump in on that deal right now. Okay, let's move over here to some quick news and notes regarding the NFL and, of course, Philadelphia. We'll start with the Eagles and finish with the NFL news. Brandon Graham won NFC Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. Philadelphia has 8 of the 13 NFC either offensive or defensive players of the week so far. Shows you how good they have been. But really, this is the most impressive thing I've seen this year. I was criticizing BG early, heavily. 34 years old, coming off the Achilles injury. There's no way that he's going to have a successful season. He's at 1.5 sacks behind a double-digit sack season, which he basically has never pulled off. I think he had 10 his best year, maybe 9.5. He's going to break his best year ever as a pass rusher at the age of 34, coming off of an Achilles injury, and you better bet he's going to be working his butt off in 2 weeks to go ahead and take on Dak Prescott and those darn Dallas Cowboys. Love seeing what BG has done. I think NFC, really NFL, what is that? I'm forgetting the term here. Comeback Player of the Year. That's the right one. Could be in the works for a Brandon Graham. All right, final story here. Very Cowboy-heavy show today. We hate doing that, but we got to talk about some NFL stories in general. Todd Archer of ESPN, the staff writer, has this article talking about the newest Dallas Cowboy. Not OBJ, it's T.Y. Hilton. I had a lot of people ask me, Thomas, you afraid of T.Y. Hilton? No, I'm not afraid of T.Y. Hilton. Here's why. Quote, the flirting with Odell Beckham Jr. might not be over, but the Dallas Cowboys on Monday added another veteran wide receiver, T.Y. Hilton. Timing is right, Coach Mike McCarthy said Monday. He's ready to go. He's an excellent addition, especially at this time of year. Hilton has not been with the team all season, but the Cowboys felt the need to add a veteran wide receiver help. In 10 seasons with the Indianapolis Colts, Hilton caught 631 passes for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. However, Hilton had just 23 catches for 331 yards and 3 scores last season, only playing in 10 games. Okay, so the idea that T.Y. Hilton is going to come in and be this elite number 2 wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys is, as usual, fantasy, because most players who come in the middle of the year, especially skill players, don't do much. It just doesn't happen, right? It's the reason that you are unsigned. T.Y. Hilton is old. T.Y. Hilton has been dealing with back injuries throughout the final couple years of his career with the Colts. He was once elite. He was once with Andrew Luck, very, very good. But don't be afraid of T.Y. Hilton playing against the Eagles on Christmas Eve, because he probably has never seen a cornerback tandem like James Bradbury and Darius Slay, along with Avonte Maddox, who was healthy and played well in the Giants game. There you go. Okay. A lot of ranting today. A lot of volume. I was going at it today. I just fired up. Listen, Micah Parsons is a closet Eagle fan because he, of course, is kind of from that area and wanted to, think about Penn State, he wanted to be drafted by Philadelphia, and now he's trying to buy into this whole, I love Dallas, I'm a Cowboy guy. And the shade thrown at Jalen Hurts was something else. It was fun to go ahead and react to today. Be sure to thumbs up for that and plenty more stuff coming up here, even over the Christmas break. I do want to say, maybe by the time you guys finish watching this show or listening to this show, maybe by the end of the week, we're going to get to 7,000 subscribers here on the Thomas Mott Show, and I could not thank you guys enough for that. And so, first off, just the fact that 7,000 people want to subscribe to this show, and a lot of you guys watch the show every single day, I cannot thank you again enough. But if you guys want to keep subscribing, help me get to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, keep going, hit the red button and the notification bell down below. All right, I'm Thomas Mott, fired up on a Wednesday. We'll see you guys in the next one.